Yo, what's going on, guys? Crispy Flakes here. So according to a source known as Adam Barai, he says that Brandon Ingram would welcome a trade to the Miami Heat this NBA offseason. To be quite honest, man, I do think this makes 1,000,000,000% for both sides. Also, it was reported earlier today that the Pelicans are actually interested in Duncan Robinson, so I would assume that Duncan Robinson would be a part of any sort of Brandon Ingram trade over to the Miami Heat. So before we get going on today's video, if you guys are enjoying these NBA rumors and news and recap stories, guys, leave a like on this video so I know you guys are enjoying this content. And of course, if you are new to the channel, man, hit that subscribe button so you never miss, any of these updates and stuff, man. I mean, there's so much like rumors and stuff going on in the NBA right now. It's kind of hard to keep everything in track, but we are trying to do that here on this channel. And yeah, hit subscribe so you can be part of the community, and love to have you here, man. So yes, Brandon Ingram. When I think of Brandon Ingram, I instantly think a guy that knows how to get a bucket, which is good because he plays basketball and he's an offensive player in basketball, right? But also when I think of Brandon Ingram, I think of a guy that, was once kind of like maybe underrated to the sense that people did not really believe him all that much. And then not this previous NBA season, but the one before that was when he actually won the most improved player. He was a big part of the Anthony Davis trade, with the Pelicans and the Lakers. So obviously with that, going from Anthony Davis to like Brandon Ingram and Lonzo Ball and Josh Hart. I know a lot of Pelican fans were like, man, like how did we lose AD? But let me just say that Brandon Ingram has made that pain not so bad. He's been absolutely amazing for that team and that franchise. But at the same time too, man, let's go ahead here and pull up the New Orleans Pelicans roster, and let me resize this up real quick here, man. Sick editing skills all around. Yes, sir. There we go. Oh, that looks fantastic. Oh, that's great, man. There we go. But yeah, so you really look at this Pelicans roster, and I mean, it's just kind of like a whole bunch of like pieces put together, which I really think is never a good recipe, especially when you have a guy like Zion Williamson on this team, which obviously, man, he averaged like 27 points per game. He is the #1 option for this team. Now you look at the rest of the squad, Lonzo Ball I actually like a bit, and the Stan Van Gundy offense, it was pretty horrible. They do have Willie Green now as their new head coach, so hopefully, Willie Green was definitely a three-point shooter and stuff like that for a lot of seasons on like the Philadelphia 76ers, so hopefully he can bring some of that quickness and just like three-point shooting ability as far as running that offense to the team. But then you have Brandon Ingram as the #2 option to Zion Williamson. And to be quite honest, man, I just don't see the fit. I think both these guys are fantastic. I think Ingram was better the first season with the Pelicans when Zion wasn't really playing because of injuries and stuff. And I think Zion's better as the #1 guy for this team, right, man? So just altogether, the team's a little sloppy. Roster-wise, but obviously that can be fixed, via some trades and stuff like that, which we are going to go with over this video. But yeah, man, looking at Brandon Ingram, right now he is on a 5-year contract at about $158 million. That actually started this previous season, and we gotta keep in mind, man, he's only 23. Like, this contract, I'm pretty sure it's a max contract, if not pretty damn close. But regardless, like, he is signed up until he actually reaches his prime. So, Ingram, just being a great player, he's really going to be giving it his all over these next few seasons, because once you hit 27, that is considered like your NBA peak, I guess, in a lot of cases. So he's gonna be looking for that next big time contract too, man. So I don't really think we get a case where Ingram like falls off or doesn't live up to any of these years on his contract. I think he's going to be absolutely fantastic all around. And taking a closer look at his player profile and everything, man, this previous season, 24 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists per game. What else? What other information we got about him, man? Nickname, Slenderman, Tiny Dog. Don't know if I like that. Humble Beast. And then obviously the positions he can play is the small forward and power forward position. And I would actually go as far to say maybe a little bit of shooting guard. I think Brandon Ingram can play some shooting guard. It's not really ideal, but depending on the lineup or how you run the offense and stuff, you can kind of make that case for it. So yeah, man. The team, as we kind of saw earlier, that's interested is the Miami Heat. And look at the Miami Heat's roster right here, guys. Last season, they were 18th in offensive rating. Now, obviously, this team, they're actually pretty solid defensive, man. 7th out of 30th in the NBA. But when it comes down to it, man, like, this team was a bit of a disappointment, right? Like, plain simple. They got absolutely destroyed by the Milwaukee Bucks in the playoffs. It's time to make some sort of move. And looking at the playoffs right here, this team was atrocious scoring-wise. And that is the issue you see with this team right now, is that, Bam Adebayo is great. Bam Adebayo is not a #1 scoring option. I actually think he's much more related to like a DeAndre Ayton of the Phoenix Suns, where he can be very efficient. He can do a lot of things with the basketball, but as far as him being like your go-to scorer, it just doesn't really work. You know, guys that can do that at the center position is more so like a Jokic or a Joel Embiid, but Bam Adebayo does so many great things on the court. Him being the number 1 scorer, not good for your basketball team. Then obviously you got like Jimmy Butler. Jimmy Butler's gonna be 32 next NBA season, and I really think that, you know, Jimmy Butler, well, offensively, he was gross. 29% field goal percentage, 30% from 3. But, you know, we've kind of seen that with Jimmy Butler. As of late, it kind of seems like, man, like the scoring's always fine. You know, he's always pretty efficient, stuff like that. But it's definitely not like the cream of the crop when it comes down to him, right? The thing about Jimmy Butler is that he can get you a bucket when you need one. But when it comes down to it, it's the you know, the playmaking, the rebound, the defense. Jimmy Butler being that, you know, second or third kind of glue guy to a championship team, right, man? I think the days of him carrying a team as the number 1 offensive option, sure, he could still do it, but I think as we saw last season in the playoffs, it's just not really going to be like the success for winning basketball, right, man? So then that means comes in Brandon Ingram, and Brandon Ingram can come on this team. Like I said, like defensively, I would say he's fine, but, you know, gets the 5 rebounds, 5 assists, so he does more things besides score the basketball. But when it comes down to it, man, like he could be the number 1 scoring option for this Heat team. And it's not going to be a case where it's like, oh, if Ingram is the number 1 scoring option, then like Bam or Jimmy's not doing their thing. No, both those guys would actually be better, be better because of it. Ingram is needed as a go-to scorer on this Heat team. Plain and simple, man. Plain and simple. So, yes, I am doing this every day of the week, especially if we can figure out a trade here to get it done. Let's put this back here to normal. So, we're going to go ahead and hit up the trade machine. Absolutely love this trade machine, guys. It's absolutely fantastic. So, yes, first team is obviously going to be the New Orleans Pelicans. And, yes, they were 31-41 this season. Like I said, man, very disappointing record for the Pelicans. And a lot of it just comes down to a weird looking roster, but also the coaching was horrible, man. Trust me, I know. Stan Van Gundy was the dude that I'm pretty sure had Josh Smith at the 3. He might have actually knocked that off. I think he actually came towards the end of that. But regardless, man, Greg Monroe, Andre Drummond, all those guys. So we got that for team number 1. Team number 2, we do have the Miami Heat. Once again, when it comes down training for a guy like Ingram, I mean, 23-year-old, you know, 20-plus point per game scorer, does a little bit of everything on the court. Like, it ain't going to be easy to get him. And I don't think the Heat are in a very good place draft pick-wise to, you know, really toss in a ton of draft picks. So this one, you might say there's better trades out there, but we're going to see what we can do here, man. So obviously, Brandon Ingram would be going over to the Miami Heat in this trade. About $30 million contract per season. I think that goes up to about $36 million, kind of stagnates over the seasons and stuff. So I think to begin, well, we already know they're interested in Duncan Robinson, so he would be going to the Pelicans, but that's only about $5 million. I do think he's actually a free agent, though, so maybe some sort of sign trade could be done. But regardless, Duncan Robinson's cool, 13 point per game, 4 rebound guy out there, one of the best 3-point shooters in the NBA. It's going to take more of that to get him on your team, right? You can play the small forward spot. Tyler Hero has to be part of the trade. Like, there's no way you're going to get a guy like Brandon Ingram on your team Miami without trading away Tyler Hero. So you can either, you know, stop watching right now and be like, I want to keep Hero, or you can go for, you know, it says he's listed at, I thought it was, yeah, 6'8", 190 pound, 23-year-old, 20 plus point per game. So you can go for him, or you can keep Tyler Hero and take your chances with him, man. I'm going to say you probably go with Ingram, though, right, man? So at that point, you're only looking at about $5 million, or about $9 million. Iguodala would need to be tossed in to make money work. Oh, man. Now at this point, see, I would go as far as saying, like maybe you toss, like, Precious Achiuwa into a trade, but that doesn't really do much for the Pelicans because, you know, Achiuwa, he's definitely kind of more of a traditional athletic inside type of player. So that's not going to work out all too nicely next to Zion. But not only that, they already have Steven Adams on the books for 2 more seasons. And I actually heard that Steven Adams is working on his 3-point shot. That could just be a marketing play to up his trade value and stuff, or try to get him a bigger contract. But he's on the team. But, you know, beyond him, you got like Jackson Hayes already. Jackson Hayes, extremely athletic inside center. So a guy like Precious Achiuwa just would not really make a lot of sense to this team. So I don't think he's part of the trade. I think a foundation of Tyler Hero and Duncan Robinson's definitely good, but I'm also thinking a future unprotected first round pick, man. It's got to be unprotected, and I say that's pretty good. That's pretty good. I mean, Ingram's going to be your starting 3. You got Victor Oladipo at the 2, assuming he comes back to the squad. Well, actually, no, man. I actually don't think Depot would be back on the team at this point. Okay, let's see if this trade works before I start talking too much about it. But let's go ahead and sign or try this trade, and it is successful, man. It is successful. So Iguodala, he would be bought out probably, or I guess he could help out the Pelicans. But what I really like about this trade for the Pelicans is that you're getting, you know, another, well, really 2 elite shooters of the NBA in Tyler Hero and Duncan Robinson. Both those guys would be absolutely nice next to Zion, and instantly can help them offensively and stuff. And you get a first-round pick out of it too. Both guys were in the NBA Finals. You know, it's not really a case where you kind of have to be like, oh, like, what if Duncan Robinson doesn't, like, pan out? Like, that three-point shot ain't going anywhere. Like, he's going to be a solid NBA player for this team. And obviously, Ingram's a secondary ball handler. You can never have enough of those guys in the NBA. I think it works out for both sides, man. So let's go ahead and close this real quick here. And what's this sign free agent? It's kind of cool right here, man. I didn't know about this. This is actually really cool because now I can actually, like, do better as far as, like, you know, getting, like, more, like, realistic outcomes right here. But I would say for the most part, you know, I could see both these teams still making some sort of trades. I know, like, Eric Bledsoe's still going to be on the books and stuff like that as far as, like, that might be traded away. But overall, man, I think this is probably the foundation for a trade. I am very curious in the comment section below. Miami Heat, are you guys willing to give up Tyler Hero? Pelicans, do you need more back in this case? Do you need another first-round pick? Are you interested in taking on Precious Achiuwa? Maybe you want KZ Opala, or you want Kendrick Nunn on your team. But at the same time, I do think this Pelicans team already has enough, like, young, you know, guards on this team with Nickeil Alexander-Walker, Kira Lewis Jr., where it just wouldn't really be beneficial, right, man? I feel like this Pelicans team, they need you know, if they want to get some more guys, it's got to be like some veteran guys helping the locker room and stuff, right? But that's all we got for this video. Give me your thoughts about this in the comment section below. Thank you all so much for watching, and peace out, my friends.